Hi, my name's Greg Marcham. I'm the Managing Director and founder of Yellowbrick, and I'm 42 years young.
Hi, I'm Steve Perkins. I'm Managing Director at Yellowbrick Mortars and I'm 37 years old.
So the making of YBM and where it all started, I suppose it started in my mind quite some years before it actually paid any dividends, but there's probably some fundamental days that I remember that really did start that movement forward and actually making what was potentially a dream into a reality.
So the making of YBM was primarily born in a car, on a car journey. There was a long day in Milton Keynes where we were hearing the vision of the year ahead from our previous employer.
I remember one day in particular, we'd gone down for a day's training in Milton Keynes for my previous employer. I say we, Steve and I.
And ultimately a lot of the things didn't sit well with myself and Greg in terms of we lost the belief, I believe, of the belief in what we were having to report and what we were having to portray and the message we were having to give on behalf of the company.
The day's training was all about how the business was moving forward. There was a lot of talk in relation to what had gone particularly well, what wasn't going particularly well. I'd found the day quite challenging in respect of some of the viewpoints that were coming out. I didn't necessarily feel that the viewpoints that were being expressed across the room reflected particularly well on the business as an entirety, and certainly didn't help the people that I was working with on the ground level, at consultant level, and also to some degree the clients themselves.
And I believe after about 10 minutes of driving in silence, after a meeting we both left feeling a little bit dejected from, that Greg said to me that he felt his future wasn't there anymore.
I remember getting back into the car, a bit of silence as Steve drove off, thinking, really feel a bit strange about all this, so and what is it I really want to do, and I suppose one of those thoughts came out, and I remember just saying to Steve, I think I've probably had my time here. I think I'm probably out, I think I need to move on.
Of which I said, yeah, I'm having the same thoughts and it sounds like a good idea that we should do something, because I don't believe that this is the future for either of us, and there's certainly a much better way we can do this for the customer, and it'd be nicer to work for ourselves.
We wanted something that I suppose we weren't necessarily going to get with the previous employer. We wanted something that was focused around primarily the client, and subsequently not about a number, so not being a number ourselves and not being a number in respect of the results that we deliver. So we were relatively fortunate. We had a successful region, so actually we didn't come under the cosh greatly, but I think at the point where some of the conversations were happening, it was prevalent that actually I don't think I would have felt that we could ever put the client as the primary priority in the environment that I was then working in. It was certainly much more about us hitting a number than it was actually the experience the clients had.
After that, many conversations were taken over a period of months to discuss what that would look like, and the journey went from there. But I definitely remember that car journey as being where it all began.
When we first started up YBM, I was scared. I'd come from a very good, very well-paid job. I'd been reasonably successful in what I'd been doing for a long period of time. I suppose my biggest fear was being able to support my family. So, and there's a lot of us, so the liability fell on my shoulders, and I certainly had 3 months worth of sleepless nights. So we left on what was in real terms a pipe dream looking back. So, that pipe dream has actually then ended up delivering something probably far beyond what we expected.
It was obviously a very nervous time, very nerve-wracking time, as it's taking a big leap of faith that you can make it work, and leaving any sort of guaranteed salary role to go self-employed and set something up with no referrers, no lead source, no estate agency backing, just the two of us, was a big step, very big step. And it wasn't one we took lightly. We gave it a lot of thought before doing so, and would never look back now, but it was certainly nerve-wracking in the first few months of doing it, in the first few weeks.
Steve and I discussed it at the point where we were ready to both make that move, and I think we had some ideas about what YBM would look like in 12, 24 months, 60 months longer term, and actually it's just been the polar opposite maybe of what we expected, but in a positive way.
So much happier now because not doing it for a big corporate, doing it for ourselves is really, really important, and also doing it more for the customer, so actually helping people rather than just hitting numbers, and helping the local community and giving back. It's really rewarding to have all those things come together under one banner that you've created, and gives a lot of pride to as well. Lifestyle wise, I'm at home a lot more, so get to spend a lot more time with my wife in around the work. Financially we're better off, so we have more freedom and more flexibility there, less financial pressures. My wife's managed to reduce her hours on her other job, and earn an income from the business as well. So it's given her a better life-work balance as well.
He's so much more happier. He's more enthusiastic about his job. He's not doing targets. He's not dealing with corporate individuals, which he's quite capable of doing, but it's his own stress, if you will, and he does enjoy it a lot.
It's changed a lot. So generally I would be up previous to YBM at 6 o'clock in the morning and out probably by 7. So I'd largely come home certainly late at night, 9, 10 o'clock in the evening. So my family life was impaired quite significantly, I would suggest. Probably some of the reason why I ended up choosing to go with and set up Yellow Brick Mortgages is to try and get a better balance, see my children a lot more, and I think that's certainly something that has been evident over the last few years, where my children recognise me when they see me now, which is always a good sign, and so that's really, really helped our family environment to actually get a little bit more out of that and support Leanne, my partner, with obviously the number of children we have.
Since Greg started up YBM, we've had a much better work-life balance. He's around more to help out with the children. We also have foster children, so he's there to help out with the foster children. It means that he's able to go and spend quality time with the children and with myself. We have a lot more days out together. He's also just generally happier in himself, a lot less confined within a kind of corporate role model. So yeah, it's just been a lot better all round, really.
Hi, I'm Callum Marchant. I'm 11 years old.
Hi, I'm Louis Marchant and I'm 8 years old.
Yellow Brick Mortgages sponsors my football team.
Yellow Brick Mortgages sponsors my rugby team.
Since Daddy's been at Yellow Brick Mortgages, he's got to spend time with us and take us to the skate park.
I'm really proud of my dad.
When we first had the idea of setting up YBM, we thought it'd be good if we could get, in the end of year 1, maybe up to 5 or 6 brokers working with us, maybe a couple of estate agent referrers, and just have a profitable business. That was really the initial goal when we first set up. It wasn't any grander than that. But we found out really within 3 months we'd already exceeded that first year target.
Yeah, exceeded for sure. So my expectations personally as well, about how I feel about going to work these days. So it doesn't feel like I'm going to work, if I'm honest. I enjoy every part of it. Pretty much all the consultants I've worked with for a large degree of time before. It is like working with your best friends, so which is really pleasant. The fact there's no targets means that ultimately the only pressure you put on yourself is your own. That pressure can sometimes be, I suppose, possibly worse than targets, because actually you're accountable and responsible for ensuring somebody else's dream comes to life in respect of buying a residential home or a buy-to-let or a commercial premises. So, but I really enjoy bringing that through to fruition.
We always try and make sure that we keep reasonable goals and set ourselves targets that are achievable in terms of our growth and our development. But ultimately we want that to be organic as well. We want it to be through reputation, through word of mouth, rather than necessarily paid advertising and things like that. We'd rather do it through reputation.
So I think one of my proudest moments actually was at the point where I resigned from my previous employer, because obviously at that point in time it was the intention that Steve and I were going to go away and do our own thing.
Originally when we started Yellow Brick Mortgages, we were just a 2-man band. We were lucky enough that some consultants that we'd worked with previously when we knew we were leaving and setting up Yellow Brick Mortgages asked if they could join us.
Certainly within a period of time it was relatively evident that some of the people that I'd worked very, very closely with over a period of many, many years probably felt exactly the same as I did and had made that decision to potentially move on. At the point where they obviously came to us, we were nothing more than a fledgling business with limited offering.
We had no referrers, we had no offices to work from, we barely had a website set up at that point, so it was purely based on faith in us that they decided to join us on our journey and to enact our dreams.
To have so many consultants that I'd worked with for so long just show some blind faith in actually a dream that we have was really fantastic. So I've got an awful lot of respect for the consultants that initially joined and subsequently those consultants thereafter that have joined again as we've become more and more successful.
Hi, I'm Mark Swaby, Mortgage and Protection Consultant with Yellow Brick Mortgages. I'm 49 years old, I live in Aylsham, originally from the East End of London. I moved up just over 20 years ago now with my family, 2 boys, 26 and 23.
My name's Dan, I've got 3 kids now. My eldest is 5, my middle child is 2, and then we've just literally had a baby girl who's now 2 months old. I've been with YBM since the start, I think it's coming up to 3 years now.
Hi, I'm Adam Beecher. I'm 33 and I'm an Associate Director and Finance Partner.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm 31. I'm a mortgage advisor for Yellow Brick Mortgages.
Hi, I'm Mark Lee and I'm a Mortgage and Protection Advisor here at Yellow Brick Mortgages.
Hi, I'm Vicky. I'm 30 years old. I've got a daughter who's called Bonnie. She is 17 months old.
Hi, I'm Rob Chapp, Mortgage and Protection Consultant for Yellow Brick Mortgages.
Life has changed for me since becoming a member of the YBM family because of the way that we're given the autonomy to run our business the way we feel we should run it.
Since joining, I've got so much more flexibility and freedom, especially spending time with my kids, which is a huge part of my life. So before, when I was employed, I only had my son at the time. And since going self-employed, being at home more with my 2 daughters, I realised how much I actually missed out, kind of doing the 9 to 5 grind when we just had my boy. So yeah, so much more time with them.
It was harder because it was a set regimen and set hours, and we wouldn't see him.
I think the kids are happier because they're about more, so much so that they don't actually like me leaving the house anymore. Even though before they were used to me leaving at 8 o'clock in the morning, coming back 5:30, 6 at night. Hannah, the better half, I think I get in her way a lot.
Since Adam has joined YBM, he's a lot more relaxed. He's not tied to targets, or his working day is a lot more flexible, so he doesn't have to work all day and then see people in the evening. He can take some time off in the day.
Previously, I used to work 60-ish hours in an office every week as a broker. So since going self-employed and working for YBM, I can actually have that work-life balance. So I'm not sitting in an office and someone else is bringing up my daughter. I can work from home, so I can still have time with her out in the garden. I still get to make sure she's having a nice lunch and everything like that. So it just kind of brings the work-life balance actually to life as such.
I've got that flexibility if and when I need it. So later down the line, when I moved in with my fiance, have children, then that flexibility is going to become more important. But now it's nice to not have to get up at 7:30 to, get ready for work, get in the car to be there for 9, and also can work weekends if necessary.
Life's changed for me since joining YBM in terms of I've got a huge amount more flexibility than I used to have. I can plan my life to look how I want it to, rather than being shoehorned into only having Sundays off.
Financially, we're able to just do that little bit more. If there's an extra week that we can take, as a family for a holiday together, then we're in a position now, probably for the first time since we've become a young family, that I can do that.
Financially, things have gone massively better. There's been a huge improvement. Earnings-wise, since going self-employed, it is significantly higher than what I was ever earning before as an employed broker. So financially, it was a huge step in the right direction.
I tend not to worry too much about the money every month. I think for me, if you do the right thing for the customer and you do the right thing for getting them in the situation that they need to get in and they want to get in, the financial rewards will follow.
When I first started at YBM, I was very apprehensive about everything. You know, it was very much, you know, oh, it's going to be this big opportunity, big dream. And I was a bit like, oh, okay, is it? Or am I just kind of being sold down the garden path? But actually, everything that I was told has come through and more.
I actually felt surprisingly relaxed. I had quite a lot of confidence, obviously, with the financial side of things in terms of dealing with the lenders. I knew criteria quite well. The setup's really good with their systems, and the support was there from Steve and Greg.
Going from having a regular, safe salary to having a self-employed, fluctuating income was a risk, but it was a risk that paid off.
Most people would probably say they were a bit scared when starting off self-employment, but I, living at home, kind of don't have many responsibilities in terms of bills and mortgages and stuff like that on my own, so I was reasonably relaxed. I believed in the vision that Greg and Stephen had talked about, and saw the fruits of what the fruits of my labour would become, providing I worked hard. So I was more eager and sort of raring to go rather than anything else.
So was I nervous? Yes. Was I excited? Even more. Did I know I would succeed? I have faith in my own ability. I have faith in the ability of YBM, and I think, like I say, if you treat customers right, you treat them in the right way, and you look after them, they will follow.
So I decided to leave my previous employer. I didn't enjoy being stuck in an estate agent office on my own, well after all the estate agents had gone home, sitting there working through my endless paperwork and figures that I had to report just for the sake of reporting figures.
It was about regaining work-life balance. It had gone completely out the window where I was before, and there was just no flexibility around it. I needed to reset, and Yellow Brick gave me that opportunity.
I think for me it was twofold. First of all, I got to a situation with my previous employer where the movement on was probably stagnant, and it wasn't going to allow me to move on anywhere further. And I've got nothing but respect for my previous employers. But the pipe dream is something that was told to me a number of months ago by Greg, and what YBM means, and seeing their Trustpilot reviews, seeing what the customers say about Yellow Brick Mortgages, knowing how Steve and Greg work, knowing what clients mean to them. Although it was a pipe dream, I knew it was reality as well.
I think if a consultant's looking to join YBM, the one thing I would say is that they have to have the client's outcome beyond their own individual objectives of income. It's a role where if you do put that first, then your income takes care of itself.
I think if someone's thinking of joining YBM, we've got lots of great examples now of people who've done that and been very successful, been happier, had more flexibility, have earned more than previous. So I think there's a lot of examples we can give them as to how it's worked for others.
I think the main thing I would say to anyone looking to join YBM is to give it a go. There's plenty of support there, from us all. It's probably like no role they've ever worked in before, and that's absolutely a good thing.
You've got the opportunity here to make what you want of it.
You couldn't ask for a better place to start than YBM. And I think Greg and Steve encourage us, ourselves, to try and find people that we can take under our wing to try and help and support that. Something that I'm actually in the process of doing as we speak at the moment, trying to get people that I believe could also deliver first-class quality advice with my support as well.
I don't think there's anyone that I know at Yellow Brick Mortgages that it hasn't paid off for.
So when we first started YBM, we had the task of thinking, where's our lead base going to come from? Because we had no lead base from previous clients, we had no links up with any estate agents, nothing to start with, so it's just literally just us. And whilst we can launch a website, waiting for leads to come in or the phone to ring was not going to be a solution for us.
We certainly specialised for many, many years in working with estate agencies. So it's something I enjoyed, working with a team of estate agents. I understood that element of the business. I'd understood how we could bring that through into potentially returned income for financial services. So we'd had a very early conversation, Steve and I, about actually we'd predominantly work with estate agencies. Which is all very well, but we'd only ever worked with one previously, and we were employed by them.
So we drew up a list of every single estate agent and basically started speaking to them, trying to meet them and introducing ourselves. But at that point, we were a newly founded company.
And subsequently, obviously, most estate agencies have an offering that they're already in place. So it was then about differentiating ourselves with the others, and explaining the ethos we have that hopefully sets us apart. It was certainly no easy feat in going around and meeting brand new people with a brand new company and pitching something to them that at this point was very much a pipe dream. There was certainly a selection of companies that showed some really blind faith in us that we really appreciate.
Really grateful to some of the referring estate agents who saw what we were offering, heard the dream that we were talking about, and really got behind that at early stages with very little to back it up. On the faith of what we were going to do, what we said we were.
And we've ended up in a very strong position with some great relationships with some absolutely great estate agents around here.
So we're entirely grateful to all our referrers that continue to feed our business and trust us with their biggest asset, which is their clients, which is a real mark of trust that they can leave those customers with us and know that we'll look after them for them.
Hi, my name's Mick Money from Money Properties in Wyndham and Attleborough. I'm Glenn Hammond, Managing Director of Hammond, Lee and Stratford. We're now merging to become Hammond and Stratford.
My name's Katie Marmo-Lewis and I'm the Managing Director of Attic Estate Agents.
Hi, my name's Kelly and I'm the owner of KT Estate Agents.
My name's Ollie Rule, Managing Director of Barton & Co. Estate and Letting Agents.
I'm Christian, I'm from Money Properties.
Peter Hurrell, co-owner and director of Stobart & Hurrell.
So my name's Adam Thompson, one of the directors at Reality Estate Agents.
My name is Kurt Williams, I am the director at Think Property.
My name is Patrick Stobart and I'm one of the directors of Stobart & Hurrell based here in Houghton.
The reason we use YBM and we like referring to YBM is the staff are all really passionate, they're really driven.
What I liked about Yellow Brick Mortgages is that they employ people that want to help your business.
Their ethos, their culture, pretty similar to Barton & Co.'s in the way in which they deal with their customers.
I think we're lucky, and I think the situation we have is that we know these people. We've worked with them for decades, probably, before we and they set up their own business. So for us, there's just no element of uncertainty.
It was quite obvious when meeting Greg for the first time that our vendors and our referrals that we would be sending over to him, they would be in safe hands and they're going to be looked after.
YBM to us is about experience and about the customer service that we offer being mirrored by the service they offer. So we feel confident that passing our clients across for advice on mortgages is the same kind of service that we offer to our buyers and sellers here.
What I like about YBM is the one-on-one relationship they have with the staff in the offices. Their presence is always welcome and they do have a massive impact on taking advantage of business that's walking through the door as such. You know, even from the start, meeting Greg in the office, you could tell straight away that it was going to be a personal relationship.
Both of them I would consider now to not just be colleagues but really good friends.
When you're talking to people and I suppose recommending a service to them, it becomes an extension of your business, and so we naturally need to be confident in the people that we refer, and we have that relationship in spades.
I think technology is big these days, and I think people want answers straight away. And one thing we found with the Yellow Brick Mortgages is the speed with inquiries, the speed with finding the right mortgage, and the speed of completion. And people want everything done at a push of a button now. And I think YBM does that for you.
What I like working with Yellow Brick Mortgages is that they work with us and they work with us and they work with our customers. They're informative. They actually work with our team of salespeople as well. So the salespeople actually want to pass business to them because they know they're going to get this business dealt with. And ultimately, it's almost like they are working for you as part of your company, because they actually really want to benefit you as much as they're benefiting the customer and themselves, they actually want to benefit you, and that it's a great relationship to have, and they get the job done. You couldn't ask for a better company to work with.
Amazing. Yep. Yeah, that's just the word I would use, is amazing. It feels like they are part of our team. It's not like two separate companies. We just all work together really well, and with the end goal in mind, which is to get the customers to completion as stress-free as possible. Yeah, I wouldn't even consider using anybody else.
So as expected, it's been great really. Once we refer our clients to them, they make contact to arrange an appointment with them within minutes. They do as they say they do, really.
Easy, really good. Got a really good relationship with our advisor, and I can just text him information, and he'll ring him instantly, which is what I want, someone who's going to do something straight away.
I found it very good actually. I've spoke to the staff, a lot of the staff are saying they're probably the best mortgage advisors we've had in 17 years of business.
It's a breath of fresh air. Got absolute trust, absolute confidence, flexibility in terms of, we run a business, we're available from 8 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. We answer the phones during those times, 7 days a week. And we work beyond those hours as well. And it's great to find people that are like-minded and will go the extra mile quite readily, because it's what we do when we need it.
Working with YBM is really good, certainly getting updates, referrals which we send over to them, certainly get a contact relatively quick, if not a pre-planned sort of appointment. Certainly updates as well, which we've been having from YBM. It's been really impressive.
YBM have been fantastic at communication. They pick things up quickly and deal with them effectively. The feedback has always been extremely positive from any client that's ever been sent across to them.
The financial return is really good. Certainly leads that are paid over on time in relation to our referral agreement, which we have with YBM. Certainly pay more than other advisors out there as well, which is a big advantage for my business and also my staff referring to them.
From a practical point of view, obviously there are the financial benefits of being associated with Yellow Brick Mortgages.
We're confident in the guys with what they do. 90% of the time we're going to earn some money out of that. So yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's definitely a good extra earner from my point of view.
The best one we've had out of anyone.
YBM supports my business by allowing mortgage leads to go over to potential buyers and vendors that are really going to provide that customer service throughout in order to allow my business in order to secure deals and tie up sales.
I mean, with social media, obviously, like I said earlier, a lot of estate agency is going to be on social media through technology, and all of our videos and everything that we post, they support with a like and a share.
And what usually tends to happen is that they are able to save our clients money compared with their current deal. So it's a win-win for all, really.
Ultimately, I don't think you could ask better of another company because the way that they treat the customers and the customers' feedback about them is that they're part of our business, and that ultimately, as a businessman, that's all you could ask for.
And of course, it also gives us the confidence when we're in the process of talking to our clients and helping them make an informed decision about what is in essence some of the biggest financial decisions they will make.
I think fundamentally with clients, if you want a successful business, there is only one way of actually achieving that, and that is actually through the client base that you have.
We've been so grateful to all the clients that have helped us over the first 3 years of Yellow Brick Mortgages.
We do truly pride ourselves on the service that we provide, so it's instilled in every broker that actually we have two things that are important to us as a company. So one is giving great customer service, one is giving back to the community. If we honour those two pledges, then ultimately the company will grow and we'll all do as well as we want to do financially for our own families.
It's such a great thing to have customers to interact with us and seek us out and to try and find us. The best thank you for helping someone with their mortgage is certainly when they send someone else they know to us and getting that direct referral from an existing customer.
Actually seeing a client go from the point where they may be a first-time buyer that has a limited knowledge about what the next part of that process is, moving into their first home, is a wonderful feeling. So you see someone else get to live their own dream buying their first property, or even to the respect of somebody going out and buying a series of investment properties that ultimately end up forming an income for themselves and giving them a different lifestyle for their very own family. So we meet a multitude of different clients.
Every client gives us something completely new and different every day, but we really wanted to go above and beyond for our clients, and we really appreciate their choice of using us out of all the many good brokerage options around the Norfolk area, and so we wouldn't be anywhere we are without our clients and their faith in us.
Hi, my name is Alexa Davis. I am 24 years old. I work with the ambulance service and I am in the process of buying my first home.
Hi, my name is Sam Whiting. I am 23 years old. I'm a self-employed plumbing and heating engineer, and yeah, this is the first time that we're buying our first property.
Hi, my name is Edward Markin. My partner is Paul Chappell, and Yellow Brick Mortgages have helped us with our mortgages to date and continue to do so.
My name is Alina and this is my daughter, Catherine.
The reason we chose Yellow Brick Mortgages was the fact that we met a young man called Wes.
We have known Dan, who works for Yellow Brick Mortgages for many years, and when he moved to work for Yellow Brick Mortgages, we just stayed with him because usually, you know, like when you get used to one person, when they're doing a really good job, you kind of just stay with them.
We went with them because they came highly recommended from a lot of my colleagues at work. I was working with someone on shift one night and was saying that we wanted to start looking to buy our first property. He gave me the details for Stephen, who had helped him. And yeah, after that, after I told everyone we were looking for a property, everyone kept saying, "God, you should get in touch with YBM and speak to Stephen."
Yellow Brick Mortgages were very helpful when we needed to remortgage our property, and they also were they did help us with buy-to-let property when we decided to invest a bit of money inheritance.
YBM have helped massively with us, with me being a self-employed plumber, and me having to work sort of every day, all day, sometimes weekends. So, and Alexis works for the ambulance service.
And obviously with us trying to do as much overtime and Sam working, doing extra jobs to try and sort of say get more money in for the deposit. Sam was getting in most nights at 9 o'clock, and obviously with my shifts, sometimes I'm on nights, sometimes on days. So there was one recently we had to do a Zoom call, and we got in contact with Stephen about 9:30 in the evening, which meant it could fit around our schedules.
Yellow Brick Mortgages helped us with our first mortgage, which was for Buckingham Lodge, second one for Nave House, the third one for the Tracery, and we've additionally taken on our fourth one, which is for a bungalow in Fakenham. My partner Paul and I moved to Cromer a few years ago. We've been developing for about 8 years, and we've now converted what was a large Victorian Methodist church, Gothic style, and that has now ended as 3 townhouses.
They've basically done everything. They asked us what we wanted, what sort of deposit we had, what we're looking for. We've basically then sent us basically off to find a property that we liked, and then when we found it, we gave them the details, the estate agent details, and yeah, they've done everything for us.
The mortgage we took on was very obscure. It wasn't a standard mortgage by any means, and Beverly managed to find us just the right tailor-made mortgage for the property. It wasn't an easy thing to do, and she achieved that, so we're very grateful.
And compared to other brokers elsewhere, they're nowhere near as pushy. I do find a lot with a lot of other brokers that we've gone to, even so much estate agents. We've gone to estate agents and they've not let us view the house because we won't go with their broker. And we've sort of been set that we're staying with YBM because Stephen has been so amazing that we weren't going to change. There was no point in having a meeting and speaking to another broker.
We were not as lucky with our previous mortgage advisor, and we had some issues, which is again going back to Monday to Friday 9 to 5. There wasn't much flexibility, there were delays. We even lost one of the properties because our mortgage wasn't approved. So this was an issue with Yellow Brick Mortgages. They will do research before they recommend you a product, and they know what they're doing. And I also think they are very affordable. Their services are affordable, which is very important for customers. Yeah, so I think they kind of tick all the right boxes for us.
I would imagine the reason that their business has expanded comes down to the core element, which is their staff, which is why we've stayed with that specific lady. Continual, consistent, good service.
If someone was thinking of getting in touch with YBM, I would definitely recommend it. Being first-time buyers and obviously being young, this is all new ball game for us. Completely different field we don't know much about, or at least we didn't. Having the support and the help from people that do know what they're talking about has been a big help, and knowing that we've got people there like to answer the questions and sort of dealing with it for us, it's been great. Like they've been great, and especially it's put a lot more confidence. It allowed us to have more confidence in them and what we're doing.
I'd recommend YBM for the main reason they're really on the ball. He's really polite, he's really helpful. He never seemed to sort of get a little bit annoyed with us if we asked too many questions.
I mean, even our parents have been telling everyone about how the good service we've been getting from them. I mean, I remember once Stephen was away for the weekend, and I sent him an email. Didn't expect anything back from Monday, and I heard back from him in 10 minutes. You don't get that level of service anywhere else.
Yes, we would recommend YBM to friends and family. We actually have done so, and a couple of my friends have already spoken to YBM, and yeah, they gave a positive feedback. They were pleased with the services they received, and yes, so we would.
So I would suggest it's a seamless experience. We've been really happy with what we've received so far. Definitely go ahead with them. That would be my advice.
One of the first things we came across in our discussions in the car about how we would do things differently if the business was ours was definitely about the ethos of what would our company stand for? What is it that's going to make us different to everyone else? What is it we want to make different?
It's all very well that we can help a client with a good income go out and buy a property. So as an experienced mortgage broker, that's not particularly complex. But ultimately, I suppose I wanted the company to hold something more than that as far as a value and an ethos. From working with the foster children that we've had over a period of years, you understand that there are circumstances in life that sometimes impair people beyond their control.
We really wanted to have a community feel to the business. We wanted it to be a family business. We wanted to give back to the communities in which we work and are part of.
Some people don't necessarily have the same opportunities as others, so that is unfortunately a fact of life, and again can't be put right by one company. But I say what I would like to think is that by working with the charities, we have an opportunity to give back to people that aren't necessarily as fortunate as ourselves at this point in time.
Our conversations with our charity partners happened long before we actually started up the business formally, to get them on board and to tell them what we were going to do and how we were going to pay money to them on every completed mortgage from every client that uses us.
We picked the Pact Animal Sanctuary.
We chose an animal sanctuary charity. I think it's a very viable thing to do.
And one of the charities they are currently supporting is Nelson's Journey.
My name's Simon Wright. I'm the Chief Executive of Nelson's Journey. We're a Norfolk-based charity. We work with young people up to the age of 18 who've experienced the death of a significant person in their lives. Our services aim to support that young person and to help them to feel more positively about their future. We work with around 1,000 young people and children per year. That's a number that's been increasing over time as more and more people get to know about our services. But in every case, we look at what support we can provide for that individual child and aim to bring back their smiles.
Carol Slaughter, Head of Fundraising from the Big C Cancer Charity in Norfolk. We started in 1980, so this year is our 40th birthday, and we've been helping the people of Norfolk and Waveney over those 40 years, those that are affected by cancer. Around about 8,000 people every year in Norfolk will be told that they have a diagnosis of cancer. So there's an awful lot of people out there that need our help and our support.
My name is George Rockingham. I'm the CEO of the Pact Animal Sanctuary. At the moment we've got a big problem, of course, it's because it's COVID. The dog runs that we built out of pallet wood and old rusty wire, which were given to us by Wayland Prison, are falling down. And we have been given enough money to be able to refurbish half of them between now and the end of the year. So that's it really. We're spending the money people are giving us that we can't spend on surviving or put in the bank to survive next year. And we're just working hard to get people to contribute to with the jobs we're doing. If things aren't better than they are now, before the 1st of April next year, Pact are in trouble.
We've seen a very significant impact to our income as a result of COVID. A lot of the fundraising events that we expected to see take place had unfortunately needed to be cancelled, and that's resulted in a loss of tens of thousands of pounds to the charity this year. In addition, a lot of the challenges out there that people had been taking on to support us, like running marathons and organising their own activities, had also needed to be cancelled. So we have seen an impact. Businesses as well, many had to shut their doors over the period of lockdown, and they weren't able to support us either. So there has unfortunately been a very negative impact on our income.
We have had a really big effect on our money income coming in. We had to close all our charity shops. We have 14 charity shops, all of which have been closed. We've only just recently reopened 2 of them. All our fundraising events up until this October were either cancelled or postponed till next year, so people weren't able to take part in many of the things that they would have done. It's difficult to put a concise figure on it, but we're probably looking somewhere over £500,000 that we will see when we get to do our figures at the end of this year.
Yellow Brick Mortgages have donated a fantastic £3,500 since they started supporting us in 2019. And impressively, double the amount that was raised in 2019 has been raised in 2020 already. And that contribution will make a phenomenal difference to our work. So our income has been affected by COVID, which means that the support that we get is needed more than ever. And that will allow us to continue to plan with confidence for the future.
I mean, we're very grateful because it's 1,980 that we wouldn't have got under normal circumstances, and the more that they can contribute, the better chance we have, certainly this year, of surviving.
So Yellow Brick Mortgages have been a really big supporter of Big C. They started to donate to us in 2019, so we've had almost 2 years donations from them now, and the total at the moment is £4,025.
I would like to say a huge thank you to Yellow Brick Mortgages and their clients who have donated so generously and have supported the charity as what has undoubtedly been a difficult time for us. Their contributions allow us to continue our work, to continue to support those families at what is a very difficult time. And from all of us at the charity, we're extremely grateful. And I know that many of the bereaved families that we support as well would want to extend their gratitude to those funders who've made that support possible for them.
This is a year when obviously we're really grateful for any donations, and we're really grateful for companies like YBM who are still able to support us. The thing about Big C is over the 40 years, we've mainly, in fact almost all, been from fundraising, from corporates. We've just been relying on donations, so things like leaving gifts in wills. And so this is really, really important to us, and it's absolutely fantastic that YBM have managed to just give us this latest donation, because we're very, very grateful.
I can only say thank you very much indeed, and keep it up. The other thing I would say is share the moment. Tell people that not only Pact, but all the small animal sanctuaries are in trouble.
So we're now, at the time of filming this, just coming up to 3 years of Yellow Brick Mortgages.
So where do we go from here? I don't know, if I'm honest. If I look back 3 years, did I think we'd be where we are now? Absolutely not. I knew that Steve and I would work incredibly hard to try and bring everything we talked about to life, and I think we certainly have honoured that.
It's been a really hard working 3 years for myself and Greg and all the consultants within us, but we're really, really proud of what we've achieved so far. It's certainly bigger than probably what our 5 or 10 year plan was when we first set it up. We've already sort of exceeded our wildest expectations at that point, and it's gone really well. And we're really grateful to all the referrers, consultants and clients that helped us on that journey to make it so successful.
There's a multitude of different things that we've introduced that I think will be built upon. So we've just taken on a business operations manager who's going to run an administration centre where there's going to hopefully support the consultants in their interaction.
We've just taken on a head office administration support to help us organise and run the business, to free myself and Greg up to continue to grow further afield than just Norfolk. So we're now looking to other counties. Currently we have 28 authorised advisors, with 4 more in the process of joining us, and a few more we're looking to recruit after that. So to have what would be over 36 members of the YBM family at the 3-year mark is a really great achievement and a huge growth that we've had.
We're running through commercial finance now. We've got a Yellow Brick commercial finance unit with 8 brokers assigned to that. That's gone particularly well, so even in the challenging market with the backdrop of COVID, we've got over 1,000 Trustpilot reviews. You know, I can remember there was a time when we celebrated 50 Trustpilot reviews. It just feels like a dream to have that many in such a short space of time.
The next 3 years look like for further growth, plus also going into other areas of advice and just opening up our offering even more so than we have just adding commercial. We're now looking to do more equity release, financial advice and pensions, and other areas that we can go into and open up our offering to help even more customers with whatever financial needs they may have. Every year we sit down, take a look at things and work out where we would like to go. I certainly think there's some growth beyond Norfolk, so that's probably going to be a focus area I would suggest going forward. But as to what that looks like, we'll wait and see.